Hello guys and welcome back. This is Mr. Siege. Now, as you can see, I have gone rogue. Now, not my main account, no. This is on my restart account. I started back in 3838. And if you see saw my last video, I was actually on about migration. Now, obviously I was aware that some people would migrate back to this kingdom, and obviously wasn't aware of the people that were going to join this kingdom, and they turned out to be a nightmare, to be honest with you. So these people had no clue how to play the game. They had no organisation, no proper leadership, and yeah, just absolutely clueless. So they threatened to obviously destroy our alliance and remove our territory, and I said, no, look, hold on for 2 days or 3 days at a time, and we'll be gone. You don't need to attack anyone now. We're planning on migrating because obviously they were just a nightmare. The kingdom was so disorganized anyway, and in fact since this they had a civil war. In fact, well, I saw loads of fighting anyway, and yeah, just absolutely crazy. So as you could see in this video, I've just gone totally rogue. I've got no troops in my city, and I've used up all the resources I had. Now, the reason I've done this is obviously if I do get my city attacked, which obviously I'm going to because I'm like a low power player, just going crazy on this new alliance with high power players, and yeah, I just had enough, and I thought, it's time to stand up to bullies basically. Like, why should I let this alliance bully me and bully our members into giving up our alliance and our territory? They can't wait for 2 days. I'm not going to get bullied, and I'm going to fight back. So I did. I decided to go and kill all their farmers, and I ran around, gave them the run around for probably about 4 hours, to be honest with you. I killed loads of farmers. I got a total of 500,000 KP from this guy. It's 500,000 KP, which is absolutely crazy. No, I mean, it's nothing, in sock terms, but just for going around killing farms, it was just so much fun. So if someone annoys you like this, I see nothing wrong in doing this, to be honest with you. So yeah, as you can see, I actually hid my troops in flags, in safe flags. Obviously, don't put me in flags that are right next to their territory if you can avoid it. And this means that those troops are no longer in my city, and they're not going to be able to get hit, obviously, and get injured and end up in the hospital. So obviously I spent the resources, and the resources they couldn't take then. I did send some resources off to some of the people in my alliance, the leader in fact, just to offload some of those extra resources that I just didn't need, and I didn't want to be stolen. I mean, I'm not going to give them resources. The idea of this was to annoy them and to cost them resources. So I actually headed back to my city at this point. Now, a bit of a tip here. If you do send your farm killing march back to your city, you need somewhere where you can offload it straight away if they're going to attack your city. Now, obviously, I'm in the flag next to it. I'm not getting back to my city right now. I was kind of hoping they'd attack, but I did want to draw them away because I wanted to move at this point. So, they were just absolute fools, just playing right into my hand every single step I took. And I had absolutely no worries about what they were going to do. The most annoying thing that they did was take it out on other alliance members, killing their farmers. And, I'm sorry about that to the rest of the alliance. And some of those have joined me in the new kingdom. By the way, I'm in 3840 now. A much better organised kingdom. Now, it's not without its problems. Every kingdom has issues, especially this early game. You get a lot of players that are clueless, and you can try and tell them as much as you want, but they don't listen. And that's just the way it is at this point in the game. As you can see, I did scout this node, but I didn't do that great. There was a lot of troops in there. So yeah, at this point in the game, there's a lot of people that are spending a lot of money and they've got no idea. In fact, there's a 16 mil power player in my kingdom right now, which is quite a bit higher than most of the other players. And yeah, he's put a lot of money in the game already. I'm still not even 2 mil power at this point. This did set me back a little bit, by the way, guys. I spent a lot of gems that I'd saved up, and I spent a lot of resources, in my items that I didn't want to spend, but this was revenge, guys, and I enjoyed the sweet revenge. And to be honest with you, I am, I might need to get revenge back soon again. Who knows? We're having problems with another alliance in our kingdom yet again, but this time my alliance could be ready for action. So we'll see in the coming days what's going to happen. I'm hoping to work things out peacefully. Negotiation is always best, especially at this point of the game. You don't want to be fighting your own kingdom, and obviously at this point, this wasn't my own kingdom, we were leaving. But you don't want to be hurting your own kingdom, because the end goal is KVK. Your kingdom needs to unite, and you need to be against other kingdoms. Now, the reason I migrated back to 3840 is I know I'm going to face these guys again. They're stuck in 3838 for 30 days from when this video was recorded, which was about 4 or 5 days ago, to be honest. I've been so busy with Diplo since being in 3840. Obviously, loads of alliances to deal with. We're new there. We're like the invaders, the aliens. Now, obviously, we did communicate with some of the top alliances there, which is the King's group, and obviously they did allow me to come and bring this alliance and loads of other members. We joined up with some Russians, which is great because we can sort of work more around the clock. We're trying to work on more Vietnamese players, to be honest, and stuff in the alliance, because we want an alliance that's fully active around the clock, which is obviously amazing. So yeah, as you can see, I'm still going around attacking nodes. Some nodes I kind of need to avoid. If you're on this situation again, guys, if you're on the opposing, basically my enemies now. If you're sending out farmers in this sort of situation, just try and send out full marches. I'm a weak player. I can only do so much, and if I'm hitting strong marches in nodes, I'm just going to try and pull away, as you could see before. Even with a belly, my Minamoto is not amazing. I'm running around with Minamoto Sao, which are like, Minamoto's like 5-4-1-1, and Sao might have been 3-1-1-1 at this stage, or 3-1-1. Absolutely nothing crazy at all. But yeah, I just, you can see how frustrating it was for these guys. They could not touch my march, and I'm just giving them the total runaround. And I get it, it's really annoying for you guys, but you got to speak to your alliance leaders, because they messed up for you. I tried to negotiate with them, a totally fair thing of saying, look, wait a few days and we'll be gone. Why could he not have waited a few days before he started burning our alliance? I try to be as friendly as possible, because I am a pretty friendly guy, I'd say, most of the time, but I'm not going to be made a mug of. And this goes out for everyone in Rise of Kingdoms. Stand up for yourself. They may be more powerful players out there, but you can still be like a fly around them and annoy them. Like you can see here, I'm not even going to fight these guys' main marches. I don't want to hurt my hospital. I want to kill their farmers and cost them a load of resources. And it's so easy just to move it. Look, he's attacking my city now. I think this is the first time they actually attacked my city. There was a few troops in there, a few T1 siege, easy enough to heal, and the guys are just going to trade badly, because they're just going to take deads, and I'm taking absolutely nothing. You can see here, was it a 10,000%, 10,800% KP ratio? I know it's tiny numbers. We're like ants in the Rise of Kingdoms here. I'm nowhere near T4. A couple of mil power extra. I'll be near T4 then. But I've got some T3. I had to train a lot of troops to do this, by the way, guys. I spent a lot of resources, a lot of speed ups, a lot of gems, just to really annoy an alliance for 4 or 5 hours. I could keep putting, obviously, the flames out, because if they do burn your wall out fully, then you'd automatically TP away, which I guess it still isn't a problem. But they just didn't have a clue. They stood around my city, waited for me to return my march. They play the game like you don't have teleports. like, why are you standing around my city or trying to block me on a bridge? I can literally put my troop in a flag and move my city to where my troops are. Like, it's absolutely madness. And they're sending out infantry marches to try and catch a cav march. And at this point of the game, everyone's sort of mixing troops as well. So it's really beneficial. Run a straight cavalry march. You know, don't mix your troops. You know, they're chasing me around with siege. Now, obviously, I'm a great siege lover, guys, but mixing your troops and putting T1 siege and stuff in there at this point in the game, you've got to try and move on and try and think about what you're doing. Try and keep same troops in, obviously, each march, depending on your march, obviously, unless it is a mixed, literally, of actual mixed, you know, leadership march. Obviously, if you're running Mulan or Aethel around and stuff like that, then fine, you can mix your marches. But especially something like this, Cav are the fastest troops. If you're going to chase a farm killer, use Cav. Ideally, you want to use Belly as a primary as well. I mean, I'm just using Minamoto because he was the highest in terms of experience that I'd actually put on. So he had the best talent tree. And Belly you'd want for the mobility tree, and obviously you can whip in and out of nodes so quick with Belly, really, really fast, and yeah, you can do some great things with him in terms of farm killing. Now, am I a great fan of farm killing? Not usually, but yeah, Revenge was sweet. So, guys, obviously you want to follow my Restart account. I'm having a great deal of fun on it, to be honest with you, and I'm really looking forward to the next couple of weeks in my new kingdom. Obviously, Pass 2s will open soon. Pass 1 was so interesting, so that's just another story, and I probably should have recorded it at the time. Again, I tried to negotiate with a strong alliance on the other side of 2 Pass 1s. I said, look, let's have one pass and you have the other pass. We'll just share. That's fair. And they were like, no, you know what? We both rally it, both attack it, and whoever gets the passes, you know, wins the capture. And obviously, I knew that we had more experience than they did, and I was like, look, we're just going to have to set up this properly. Organisation, we swarm the passes, we set up a rally at the same time, and we reinforce if we need to. We took both passes. The Russian side took the pass at the north, and they took it ridiculously quick, and we took the pass at the south. And it was a great success. They gained none of the passes at all. They didn't get the first capture, and they missed out on the rewards because they were greedy. And I've seen so many greedy players at this point of the game. People chasing rewards, and it really, really does my head in. So if you're going to come for rewards in my alliance, you better have applied and asked nicely, because I will accept some people. But those of you that just apply out the blue, you're getting rejected, guys. So just forget that one. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. This is Mr. Siege. There was loads more footage, but I didn't record any more. Goodbye.